What's up, guys? Welcome to Box of Box Football, and I'm back here for a special edition of the tier list. I went to do a video like this for a long time, and I've been holding it back. But finally, I've decided to give you guys a Lionel Messi video, looking at what is the greatest Messi of all time. Now, recently, the great Lionel Messi broke Argentina's barren run of 28 years without a trophy by winning the Copa America, and is reported to have signed a new 5-year deal with Barcelona. He was a free agent for a few weeks now, but this new contract will take him to the age of 39. Now he's going to give us 5 new years, but I want to look back at the first 17 years of greatness from arguably what a lot of people consider to be the greatest football of all time. And next to me, I have a guy who I consider to be a Messi stan, a big Messi fan in Timi. Timmy's a Messi stan. He's a
Man,
Messi warrior. He is.
After that Copa America, man, I had to just say, you know what, I'm standing Messi for the rest of my life.
Listen, I was so I went on live to watch it, and I was so happy for him to win it. It wasn't just the fact of the GOAT debate. It was nothing to do with that for me. It was the fact of just killing the narrative that he hasn't done it for Argentina, and for him to finally do it was just it wasn't just a win for Messi. I felt it was a win for football, because the joy that it gave everyone to see Messi win was just absolutely incredible. So, guys, we're gonna get into what is the greatest Lionel Messi of all time, because as you can see here, we have all the way to the GOAT level. And Timmy gave me an interesting point on how we're gonna rank this. And are we ranking it from a normal standpoint for a football player, or Messi standard? And we're gonna have to rank it from Messi standard, because it is Lionel Messi, and the greatness that he's given us has been amazing. So we're gonna have to be a little bit critical. We're gonna have to dock points for, let's say, maybe not having a trophy or injuries or something like that, because if that's the case, we put every single one of these in the GOAT tier. So, Tim, let's get into it, and let's look at his first season, 2004-2005 season. To be fair, he only played 5 games that year, scored 1 goal. You remember the goal against I'm not sure what team was it again?
Albacete in La Liga. Ronaldinho's
Ronaldinho's phenomenal assist, and then
Albacete, I think. I remember.
Now, my thing with this is that he only played 9 games, so you can't really rate him here. Compared to what he's going to give us, this is personally an all right. He had a lot of substitute appearances.
Yeah, he did have some special. I know it's not competitive, but the Joan Gamper against Juventus, and Fabio Capello was interested in him already. So I think those are the sign of things to come.
Apparently, he went over during the game, asked him, could we get him on loan, and Barcelona said no, which is incredible. But I'm going to put this one in the all right section, and now we're going to move on to his first proper season as being Barcelona's a starter for Barcelona. The 2005-2006 season, he played 25 games that season, scored 8 goals, and got 5 assists. Now, Tim, before we kind of get into what was the highlight of that season for you, what moment did Messi give you that year that was outstanding?
For me, it was, I think this around the time when he's becoming the golden boy. I think this is around that period when he won it. For me, it was the Champions League runs he had, because on the way to the final, he got injured. I didn't play, I think, after the last 16. And funny enough, actually, the players wanted Messi to travel with the squad. Reported that he gave him a bit of boost because he played every other game during the season. And them going into final without the starting right winger, who's only, 18 or so, had lots of confidence for the final. So he was a massive boost just in the squad or around the team for that game against Arsenal. During the season, though, he had a great season for an 18-year-old. And I think it's the games I think it was against Chelsea.
I remember the game
against.
Do you remember the Robin foul where he done a bunch of them and Robin fouled him?
Yeah, I think that for me stands out about this kid is 18. And he's already hanging up there with some top players, which now, doesn't really make sense.
Where are we going to put this? Good, amazing? Where do we have it? To me, it's between good and amazing.
Yeah. I'm going to say good, because his injury in the last month or so in the season is what stopped him capping off what could have been an amazing season for him.
And to be fair,
he would have played that Champions League final. He would have started and played.
For me, that was the biggest thing. He definitely would have played. But let's move on to the 2006-2007 season, where Messi played 30. He played 36 games, scored 17 goals, and also got 3 assists that season. And speaking of the highlight of of that whole season was the hat trick against Real Madrid
Had to
at the
be,
new camp.
yeah.
Um,
But there was also another goal I believe was that season as well. The goal against Getafe from the
was
halfway
that
line. I'm
was it?
sure
Wait,
that
wait.
was,
Was it that season or not? I think you might be right. Yes,
yeah.
You are right.
I
To
think it
me,
was
in my opinion,
2006-07.
Tim, that's still the best goal Messi ever scored in my eyes. Do you
Yeah,
do, do you agree? Say the
it's
Copa America goal? No, no,
it has to be because it's very similar. To, he's done this half line goal a bunch of times. He's done it
bro,
like 5 times.
bro. It's like
So,
you're picking, but that was to me like
yeah,
when that was the first time people compared him to Maradona because the goal was like carbon copy of what Maradona did to
yeah.
England that year. But where are we gonna put him right here?
I'm actually
Good.
gonna put this in a great season because this
Oh,
season was so
Tim.
good. He finished third in the Ballon d'Or behind Kaká and Ronaldo. Was the highest rated Barcelona player in that team, ahead of
Wow.
Ronaldinho, who wore the number 10 shirt at the club.
You're gonna put
Hat
it in a
trick against
great.
Real Madrid. That's a
Yeah.
great season. That's
Okay.
19 years old.
Okay.
Hat trick against Real Madrid. That was a
Oh,
very special season.
you're gonna put it in a great section. Oof. Oh, do you
Yeah.
know what it is? He did finish. He did finish third. So that's a huge
And
accomplishment.
the goals he scored that season were just incredible. Just
And let's move on to the 2007 2008 season where he played 40 games. He scored 16 goals and also got 16 assists that season. That was Ronaldinho's last season in Barcelona. So Messi was kind of the man, but he was on his way to becoming the man that season. But
yeah.
Timmy, where do you rank this?
Yeah, I think it was a good season, and it wasn't in such that he had a bad season or worse season than last season, but more the case of how Barcelona fared during this time. When a team
Mm,
isn't going through a good moment, players can't really stand out as much as they really can. So that's why it's a good season. He had great moments against I think what stands out for me, which is kind of strange, but it's the Paul Scholes moment at Old Trafford.
oh,
He absolutely rips
where
it.
that was ridiculous. Like
Absolutely rips it. And I think
honestly.
that was when I remember back then the Ronaldo Messi comparisons were really starting then.
Mm,
Now Ronaldo had been in the Premier League and everyone can see him week in, week out in this part of the world where it's like, oh yeah, he's our guy, da da da. And some small kid from Argentina playing in Barcelona comes over to this part of the world where a lot of people didn't really know about him, but some of us kind of knew what he was doing in Spain. It was the first time we saw the Messi Ronaldo that came up in that kind of time. Ballon
yeah.
d'Or runner-up as well, leading Barcelona. He had a very good season, but it has to be good this level because of how Barca got on.
Do you know? I actually think that the Celtic game was actually this season.
I mean, this year,
Um, Tim, where do you rank this?
I I still say good. Good.
Good.
For
Oh,
Messi, for Messi,
only good. Okay, okay, Messi.
For Messi standard,
Okay,
because we have a
okay.
lot to get through.
We do have a lot to get to. Let me just click onto this. Okay, I thought you were gonna put this in more of like the amazing section, but let's move on to the year that Guardiola came in, and then we saw a truly amazing Messi. This is the year that he became, in my eyes, the best player in the world. 2008 2009 season, he scored 51 goals. He got 38. He played 51 games. Got scored 38 goals and got 19 assists that season. And you know where like he was playing out wide, but obviously had that legendary game where like he played as the false nine. But Tim, where do you rank this season? But before we even talk about where you ranking it, what was the highlight moment? Because so many amazing moments that season. Because
I look
this
at
is when he really became the
yeah,
greatest, or like
look at
he became the best player in the world.
yeah, like the from he scored in the final against Bilbao.
Mm-hmm.
That moment was incredible. The header against
Insane.
Manchester United was credible. The 6-2 against Real Madrid at Santiago Bernabeu, scoring 2 goals, like incredible. I think the home game against Real Madrid as well. I think he scored that game as well.
Yeah.
He was just an absolute machine. In fact, even the goals I think against Lyon and against Bayern Munich in the knockout stage on the way to the
Oh,
final.
like when he played the 1-2 with Eto and just passed it
Yeah,
into the
like
net.
it was
Insane.
his football looked too easy against top like the best players in the world. He made them look like fools. I think this is when he was, and Ballon d'Or winners off in this season. That was when he stand out as being like, yeah, this guy is the best in the world.
To me,
Well,
easily,
I'm
easily.
easily.
Easily, without a doubt.
I'm gonna surprise you here. I'm actually
Team,
gonna put it
team,
as a great, great,
team. Are
great,
you
great
serious?
season.
Team,
Yeah,
Barca won 6 trophies that year. 6 trophies.
yeah.
You're only gonna put it in a great section.
I'm gonna put in a great section because
Okay. Do you know what it is?
I want the gold section to be very, very like small,
Okay.
very,
Okay.
very
But
small,
team, out of
very,
all
very.
the goal categories, this one to me is like
That,
that, bro. He was
but
insane.
exactly. That's how good he was. That's how
Okay.
good he is.
Okay.
Because that season is insane. Don't even actually is insane. But Messi had there are seasons to come for specific reasons for why there's a goat status.
Do you know what it is? I like the harshness of it. Personally, that's a GOAT season for me. But guys, you gotta let me know. Let's move on to the
Yeah.
2009, 2010 season. This year was when Messi kind of became like proper like the false nine in a way. I know Ibrahimovic started off as it, but coming to the end of the season, Messi kind of became the false nine. He played 53 games for Barcelona that season, scored a whopping 47 goals and got 12 assists this season. Tim, again, where
Now
do you put this
this
one?
is
Now
this
we need
is
a highlight
actually this is
moment. What tell me the
yeah.
highlight moment.
I've got two in particular.
Don't.
The first one is Zaragoza
Mm-hmm.
when he scored a hat trick.
Yeah,
Tore up the defense,
bro.
and the penalty one was. Oh, now here's the thing, right? It doesn't at professional football. The gap in quality is so small.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're playing like amateur and semi-pro, whatever, it's a bigger gap. But at top level, it's such a small gap that's there. So the fact that he turned pro players into children, twisting and turning inside out against Zaragoza for that one game was incredible.
Tim,
But
do you know what it is? You're so right, because what I remember from that was that he done back-to-back hat trick. So it's like Zaragoza, and then like a few days later against Valencia, he got another hat trick. But that Zaragoza game, in that goal, it was, to me, two things that really got me. It was the commentary to that game was when the commentator goes, Georgie Best, Diego Maradona, again all shown by this little man.
Yeah.
And then it was the reaction from the bench. Henri, Guardiola, Pinto, everyone got up and thinking like, what in the hell are we watching? It was insane.
Because what to understand in football is that those reactions don't happen all the time. And Guardiola played with the best and against the best in the world. He played against the great Milan side in 1994. He saw the Ajax team back in the 90s. He played in the Cruyff Dream. He's seen some top players. This, for me, actually, 9-10 is actually the first GOAT season of Messi.
Really? Are you going to put it over 2008?
Yeah, because do you know why? Because it's more about the individual. Because I feel like 2009 was the coming up. 2009-10, the game against Arsenal.
Oh, he scored a 4. Yeah.
Crazy.
Bro, Tim. This might be mad, but in my opinion, if Messi wasn't playing that day, we probably could have won that game. Seriously.
Brenner scored the first goal, and
bro, like Walcott was causing trouble, and then Messi just like, oh my, listen, okay.
And it's not, and do you know why? Because it's not about the achievements. Like the achievements on our 09 or 10 were 09 were brilliant, and how good they were. But I feel like him becoming the GOAT, because I think this is when in Sky Sports they were thinking he was 22, and they were saying, is he the greatest of all time? In 2009-10, they were saying that.
Yes.
That's why I put him, because that's what people think, is he the best of all time this early in this season. That's why I put him as a GOAT status.
Let's do 2010, 2009, and another one that I think is probably going to get in that GOAT status. But Tim, let me just say the numbers again. 55 games, wait for it, Tim. 53 goals, 25 assists. Messi, what are you on? Champions League, La Liga, moments after moments after moments. This is the year that he played as the false nine and just destroyed football. Tim, tell me, what was for you the craziest moment there?
Oh, you know what it is, James. There's the Champions League. No, let me get that for last. The Champions League for last. Yeah, let's go the round before that. The goal against Real Madrid. 2 goals against Real Madrid. It was 2 goals against Real Madrid.
But Timmy, it's the second one. It's a fact that Sergio Busquets, it's to me the worst assist of all. It's the best assist of all time for what he just did. Okay, just pass it there, and then the way he just goes, he eliminates players, and then scores. And things in my mind is always commentary, and when he scored, and I heard the commentator lost for words like wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
My days, man.
Because it's not. It's again like looking at the context of the game. This is not just Messi. This is not his teammates setting him up for an easy chance to bury in a hat trick against a top team. He takes the ball at the halfway line, goes through against Real Madrid players in their stadium in the Champions League semi-final, not just against any team. And it's not just he scores a goal. See, Messi's not just scoring goals. It's the goal that he scores against who he's playing.
Tim, that game was going absolutely nowhere, and Messi was the difference. I do understand the red card did make a big difference, but
yeah,
the game was going nowhere, and we needed a genius. And this guy is. Where do you put this? Do we even have to argue?
Another GOAT season?
Do you know what? Let's put this over this one. So let's say this. So this one's first GOAT. So this one's first GOAT season. I'm gonna put
the moments in that season, because as well as that semi-final against Real Madrid, it was also the game against Atletico Madrid. This is when Diego Simeone took over. Atleti had the run in the Europa League. They were Europa League strong in that season. They were strong in the league. He destroyed every top team in Spain that season. He absolutely destroyed them.
Tim.
And he wins and the Champions League final.
Oh, listen, that
Champions League final. One of the great team performances we've ever seen in the Champions League final, but man the match in the final, scoring a winning goal against Alex Ferguson's Manchester United team.
Tim, if 2009 was his coming out party, if Messi would have ended his career in 2011 after that game, people would have said that he is the GOAT. But what he gave us after, Tim, let me just get into next season, Tim. Let me talk numbers. 2011, 2012 let me talk numbers right here. Now, if you want to, now, Jay-Z said something, women lie, men lie, but numbers don't. Now, listen to these numbers. 60 games. Wait for it. 60 games. 73 freaking goals. Wait for it.
60 goals, 60 games is a lot to play as well.
60 games. And not only did he give us a 73 freaking goals. Wait for it. 34 freaking assists. What is this guy on? A combined total of 107 goals. Is this guy what? I get it. Barcelona didn't win the league. They didn't win the Champions League that year. But Tim, I remember the 5 goals against Bayern Leverkusen.
The goals against Real Madrid. And I think it was a Super Cup. He scored the winning goal in a tense Super Cup. Yeah, it was. I think they finished 5-4 in aggregate.
Was this the year or the year after? No. This wasn't the year where Messi and Ronaldo both scored 2-2. No.
This was when the first leg was 2-2, and I think the first leg was 2-2, and the second leg was 3-2.
Man,
proper crazy game, but the stats in the game were unbelievable. The goals he scored, so many goals.
Tim,
and he also, I think it was 21 games in a row.
Yes. 21 games. Was that all competitions or was that in a row?
No, just in La Liga. I think it's 21 games in a row in La Liga. Because in all competitions, I think was a lot longer.
He scored 50 goals in La Liga. Still a La Liga record today.
Yeah. 50 goals in La Liga.
This one, is it? Can we even talk about it? Of course, it's goal. Do you put it over these 2 seasons? 2010, 2000.
I think it has to be. I think I'll put it. Actually, it actually have to be before, ahead of 2010-11, because that's the greatest season of any footballer ever.
Okay. Personally, to me, this is number one. In my eyes, the only one that we can probably put against is probably Diego Maradona from what's it called again?
The 86 World Cup.
Yeah, from 86 to 89, when he was because he won the league with Napoli back-to-back year or something like that. But
so that's that part I think is so special. But for what I think in terms of a single season of football, I think that is the greatest season any player has had in football ever.
But do you only put 10, 11 ahead of it just for the trophies?
The trophies is what team achievement.
Yes.
Is
okay.
What
fair.
brings it down. But
Uh,
yeah, and sometimes that's how the individual has to live with that.
Fair enough. We're gonna move on to 2012 2013 season. Messi played 50 games, scored 60 goals, and got 17 assists. The numbers are just these numbers are wild. Like seriously, these numbers are wild. But yeah, Tim, this was the year that he broke Gerd Muller's record for most goals in a calendar year.
Yeah,
What tell
91 goals.
Barcelona Barcelona won the league that year, right? No. Or was
Yeah,
it
they won the league. Yeah,
okay,
won the
you won
league,
the
100
league.
points.
You got 100 points that year. Just, I mean, it was it was still a great season. 60 goals. It wasn't as great in
Yeah.
like individual as the season before. But where do you put it, Tim?
You see, with this season, there are a number of issues because Messi, this is when Messi started to show some muscle fatigue from the previous season. I
Yeah,
think that the previous season, Sanchez, Pedro and Villa broke his leg in the Club World Cup in December in 2011. Alexis Sanchez had hamstring injuries in his first season, and Pedro had a large number of injuries too as well, was in and out of games. So they brought up like Isaac Cuenca and Christian Teo to play, and Fabregas to play. So Messi was playing pretty much every like 60 games, played a lot of games. The next season to this season, he had a number of stress injuries in his hamstring, and he fatigued so badly because they were so reliant on Messi for goals, so reliant on him. So in terms of him, and this is also the year they had Tito Villanova, which is he was going through cancer treatment throughout the whole season.
it was
So they
quite
didn't have their
difficult.
coach, and you have players like Fabregas, Piqué, Busquets, Messi, who worked with Tito when they were in La Masia, grew up with this guy, and it was hard to go through this thing. So the team had a tough season. To win the league after everything, it was hard, but it was still a good year for Messi.
Do you know what I remember from this season? I think this was the year that what he came on against PSG. I think on literally on like one leg, and just his presence
Yeah,
alone was what got you through that game. Of course, you remember the Bayern Munich
and
game. He
Bayern
didn't
Munich game
play.
falling
He,
around.
he didn't play in the second leg. But Tim, where do you put this one? 60
I think
goals.
it's an
Just remember
amazing,
that.
it's an amazing year. It's
What?
an amazing.
Tim, 60 goals.
It's a great year. It's a great year. It's not one
Okay.
his goal because of it. It's a great year. I'm thinking amazing, God, but amazing year. But it's a great year. It's a
Tim,
great
I,
year. It's
I was gonna
definitely,
say like
definitely.
Tim, you're
I
very
was
harsh
thinking,
when it
but
comes to this. You're
nah, because
seriously harsh.
I read amazing, and we had to put amazing in there. But it's definitely a great year. It's the only thing that puts it down is because of his injuries, which aren't really his fault, but that's kind
Oh,
of part of the game.
oh, all right then. So we're gonna move on to the 2013-14 season where Messi actually played compared to recent years. He played not that many games when you actually think about it compared to what Messi usually played. He only played 64 games. Again, scored 41 goals and got 16 assists. Again, this was the year that Barcelona didn't win anything that year. You lost the
No,
cup.
under Tata Martino.
You
Yeah,
lost in the semi-final, or in the you got
lost in
quarterfinal of
the
the Champions League.
quarterfinals Champions League. The
Lost on
final
the
of the cup,
and then lost on the final
Real
day
Madrid,
to Atletico.
and yeah, final left to Madrid. Yeah,
Where do
this
you
season
rank
in
this season?
particular, Messi had a not a bad season. He had another great season, but it was because again his injuries. He had so many injuries this season, and Barca had a goal scoring problem without him. So when they signed, this is Neymar's first season, if you remember as well.
Yeah,
So them having Neymar, Alexis Sanchez, and Pedro. Sanchez's form was kind of in and out. I think fans wanted to see him play more, but he didn't play as much as he wanted to, which led to his departure. Pedro wasn't really scoring that many, but he stepped towards in some parts of the game. And Neymar had a good first season.
I
And to
had a
be honest,
mixed
well,
season to
Sanchez,
be fair.
yeah, it was a mix. But to be honest, Sanchez, when he was called upon, had amazing moments too as well. Like great moments during
I,
that patch
I
against
remember
Getafe, the
he even
last game he
scored
got against
the
Atletico Madrid. He scored in
exact.
the Clasico as well. He had a great moments for us. It was just he wasn't trusted enough. Fabregas, of course, playing striker as well that year, which annoyed a lot of people. But Messi had missed a lot of football that year, and it showed.
I remember he,
So
on his comeback game in the Copa del Rey, he came on and like scored 2 goals. I just remember thinking like, wow, this guy's like, because
yeah,
he didn't play for a few months, and it was just to see Messi out because he hasn't been injured for God knows how long. And when he came back and just gave us 2 goals in like what 20-minute cameo was ridiculous. But Tim, where do you rank this?
uh, I'd still have to say for Messi standards, it's an amazing year. I would
Okay,
say good, but because his injuries hold him back from him being a great year, and Barca, and they couldn't bring Barca so
you know what? Let's just fill up the
at the
categories.
time.
I think it's fair enough if we fill up the category. So let's move on and let's talk about the 15 season. This is the season of first season of MSN. Messi played 57 games, got 58 goals, and got 31 assists. The numbers again have my eyes just going mad. Tim, where do you rank this season? And first of all, let's get in. What
Man,
for you was the best
the
moment? Like,
moments,
tell me
the
about moments because
moments.
I have a few moments in my heart. In my opinion, the best I've ever seen Messi play was in the first half against Man City. In the second
Oh
leg
yeah,
in the Camp Nou. I honestly like at halftime, I sat there and I think like, what in the hell am I watching? Barcelona were on a different planet to Man City that day. Iniesta, Suarez, all of them man were insane that day. But Messi, like that was that was the James Milner nutmeg. It was just
yeah.
it was ridiculous.
Leaving grass
Obviously,
stains on his ass,
you
man.
remember the Bayern Munich game doing
Mm.
doing what he did to Jerome Boateng that year. But him
And
obviously,
Neuer,
oh,
yeah.
but him struggle up this amazing partnership with Neymar and Suarez. But Tim, where do you put this year? Because I know you probably have fond memories. Another Champions League year, which obviously helps too.
Yeah, this is a this year was incredible. I think for the reason for that, Messi almost left the season before, and a number of things are going through his head about at Barcelona. And to bounce back the way he did was just incredible. The funny moments like the hat trick against I think it was Bate Borisov in the Champions League, all with his right foot. After people saying he couldn't score with his right foot, scores a hat trick against Bate with his right foot, which is
Oh
fun. It's
my
a bit
days.
funny. That's how things work like that. The scored so many league goals as well that year. The final goal against Athletic Bilbao, which from the halfway line again, which report the video about saying how like if he hits the ball like or touches the ball like an inch to the left, it's a miss. Like it was perfect in every moment
This
up to the goal. Like you couldn't write this stuff.
to me, it was like it was the fact that there was a moment where he had three players surrounding him, and generally Tim he had nowhere to go. He like put his
Against the
leg up
byline as
like
well.
he had nowhere to go, and he put his leg up like he was gonna go that way, and he just tricks all of them. They all go this way, he goes that way. Ridiculous. But I hate
Like
to push you here.
unbelievable.
Where'd you put this season, Tim?
It's between great and goal. It's lingering between great and goal.
Unfortunately,
And
there's
I'm
no in between, Timmy.
yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say great.
Oh,
I'm gonna
Tim,
say great.
really?
You know, because we have to keep this goal. We have to keep this goal. Because those seasons are better than this season.
Yeah.
Those seasons are better than this season, and that season was amazing. That
Okay.
season was
Okay.
absolutely it was class. We have to keep the goal like really really tight so that we're not giving too many that's there.
Okay. Fair
But
enough.
the reason I'm saying that it's a great season, which doesn't really sound that great in itself, I'm only great. Is only because 2000 and the seasons above before, I think it's where Messi exceeded the expectations of the great players we've seen before. And I think this is where we saw Messi just at his best, what we expected him to do.
Okay. Okay. Let's move on to the 15-16 season where Messi played 49 games. He scored 41 goals and got 24 assists. I feel like this was the season where if you look statistically wise, this is MSN at its absolute highest. Neymar got
Yeah.
31 with like I don't know how many assists. Suarez got like 59 or so, and I felt like coming to the end of the season, this is just my feeling. I felt like Messi and Neymar were really trying to get Suarez that Pichichi award over Ronaldo because the way that they were just squaring the ball to him at every two every 2 seconds. But again, Barcelona didn't win the league that year. Real Madrid did
They won
win
the
it
league
that.
that year.
Did they?
Yeah, Barca won the league that year. Yeah, under Luis Enrique.
Okay.
Yeah,
Where do you put this season, Tim?
it's a great season. I'm trying to think in a moment because
Yeah.
he had a number of injuries this year as well. His numbers look amazing again, but I think he had a knee injury. He was out for 2 months in the very start of the season. That led to
If
Neymar stepping up.
if
Didn't
I'm
he
looking at
actually miss
moments,
the? Remember even the Classico where he didn't even start because he was injured for so
oh
long and
yeah,
came off the bench to be involved. When
oh
Barcelona
yeah,
4-0, we saw
mm,
Iniesta and Neymar absolutely turn up.
yeah,
So
true, true, true.
yeah, so this is a year when it was like players like Iniesta had a lot left in the tank. Neymar was hitting his peak. Suarez is hitting his peak. players were really starting to grow up, Arsenal, and as Messi kind of was injured, they could fill in for him, but they kind of got fatigued towards the end of the year, which is why they fought out in the Champions League a bit more.
And in my opinion,
But,
there was a stretch from a 3 month period where, in my opinion, it was the best I've ever seen Neymar play. When Messi was out
yeah,
and he was playing next to Suarez, he was insane. But thinking of moments, I think of the counter attack goal against Arsenal. He scored two at the
yeah.
Emirates. Do you remember
I'm thinking,
the Roma game? Do you remember the Roma game?
yeah, the Roma game, the passes him and just dinks it
Oh,
over, like just absolute. It's like poetry in motion.
ridiculous.
Is incredible.
But I had to push you, Tim. Where do you put this?
Yeah, it's an amazing year. It's an
It's
amazing year.
amazing.
I just
I
think
actually,
I always think with Messi because it's a kind of a shame. You see with these things is that he's because Barcelona are so reliant on him. When he gets injured, and because of his frame as well, someone like him can't get a really bad injury. It'll take a while
true.
to recover as well. So Barca falls to as a consequence.
So let's move on to the 16-17 season. This season, I think this was the season that Neymar left, or like, was
This
the
is them
season?
as last season.
Okay, Neymar's last season. So he played 52 games. He scored 54 goals and got 20 assists. 50s, 50s, 50s. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't remember too much about this season. Obviously, what I remember, of course, is it's the crazy comeback, um, against the PSG.
Mm.
But in terms of
If you remember,
seasons,
I think the moment for Messi this season was the game at Real Madrid where they kicked him, they punched Casemiro, kicked him,
no,
hacked
no,
him.
no, no, no,
I
was
think he
no, that was the season after.
not no that this is this season, 16-17, where he scored the last minute goal, 3-2.
Was Neymar playing that season?
Neymar was actually suspended for the game at Real Madrid.
Okay.
I think he was like
Yeah.
sarcastically clapping off referee and got a
Oh
full
yeah.
match ban.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
played against Real Madrid, and this is when like at the start of the game they kicked him, they punched him. I
Mm.
think he bloody nose everything. He lost a tooth, absolutely ruined the guy,
And
and he just went on. And the first goal as well,
the first goal is
slid through the
insane.
defense, hit it in
But
2-2, Rakitic, Hammers or whatever, and then the last moment there, after everything, kicking, hurting, punching, whatever, scores and holds his kit up.
generally, that is probably I'm actually so happy that you were able to remember this is easily could be a top 5 game when it comes to Messi's like in his career. And then the moment of
Yeah,
him holding up the t-shirt, his jersey, how like iconic. I remember even Ronaldo then done it like a few months later,
yeah, but
when like
in the
you guys
Spanish
had
Super
this.
Cup,
Yeah,
yeah.
what a moment. But Tim, where do you put this season?
This again, it's just not. It's a strange one. I think it has to be a great season because Barcelona weren't great themselves, but he stood out again, kind of above everyone else. And I think this is towards the time when teams started to really, in Spain and in Europe, try to cage out Messi from games. Where they work to, if we stop Messi in the MSN, we can at least try and hit their flow of the game. So I think that's where some of the games where Barca weren't productive. They get Messi out of the game. But against PSG, Neymar stepped up, so Messi wasn't really needed in that game, and that's how strong that front three were. But his numbers that year were just unbelievable. Again, they were just like insane,
Uh,
insane.
So let's move on to the 17, 18 season where Messi played 54 games. He scored 45 goals. First time he didn't hit 50 in a while, and he got 20 assists this season. This was the first season without Neymar. I'm pretty
Mm,
sure of. Barcelona won the league. I think you're one game off
yeah,
being unbeaten that season. A bit of a
yes, the one
weird
game Messi
season for
didn't.
Barcelona, you know.
Yeah, the one game Messi didn't play, they lose. It was,
Like we can get into the politics of that, but what was your
yeah.
standout moment from this season?
You know what? I think a lot of people would probably point to the he had the Juve game in the group stage where I think
Mm,
it was just everyone
yeah,
went wow, like it was just incredible. He
uh,
had the Chelsea game against where he scored at Stamford Bridge and then he absolutely ruined the defense. But I'm actually gonna go off on a whim and go on a strange one. I'm actually gonna go to a very tough stadium that people know in Spain, the Benito Villamarin Stadium, which is where Real Betis play, where I think he scored a hat trick or 2 goals in that game, and was applauded by the fans because of his performance. Then there's a moment towards the end of the game, he's surrounded by 4 players, drops his shoulder, turns, nutmegs it, looks at him by, and plays it off, and the stadium start clapping, applauding him. And that was the moment where Spain was saying that this guy is just incredible. So that moment, I think it's. I'm going to say it's going to be either great or goat. It's up in there.
Really?
Yes, yeah,
Goat?
but I think we're going to keep it. I think we're going to keep it as great. Just keep the goat a bit more unique. But that season, when Neymar leaving and taking almost the pressure onto himself and winning the league and the cup again, I just think that was just and the moments in the game, like James, it's not even just it may not be the big moments against big teams, but it's the week to week, being the best player week to week to week to week again and again and again is what really counts as the greatest.
And also, the last season and like this season, his beard was on fleek. Like, Messi was really going. Like, Messi was seriously going out there with the beard. I actually quite like, because he actually goes with the kind of GOAT status too. But let's move on to the 18-19 season, where Messi played 50 games. He scored 51 goals and got 22 assists. Now, Tim, where do you have this season ranked?
This season now for me is gonna be the last GOAT status. The last GOAT status, because I think not just about Barca won the league, but this was probably where we saw the cycle of the worst Barca team in fashion really be out there on paper, where the team was aging, they had so much dead wood in the squad, and the term Messi dependencia was just lingering about every time again. They were so dependent and reliant on this guy too many times. He actually went back again this season to Benito Villamarin and was applauded again.
Was that for the
goal he scored?
Yes.
The ball when he racked his set and he dinked it over, and it was like, how on earth did he score that?
I remember being in the car and like just being on Twitter. Don't worry, I wasn't driving, right? I was in the passenger seat. But just scroll on Twitter and see Messi trending and Gary Lineker tweeting. Then I clicked onto the goal, and I just remember dropping the phone on how just it was insane what this what this guy doing in just moments. Like the Manchester United game, second leg, the first goal was amazing. You know, second goal too. He was just, I know, second goal was De Gea's fault, but he was amazing in that game. And again, the first leg against Liverpool, we were not going to talk about the Usman Dembele moment, but that free kick was just one of Tim in my head when he
600th goal as well,
bro. To me, the fact is that I was thinking like, yo, this guy is not going to shoot from there. It's too far out for him to make it. And especially with how big Alisson was. And when he curled it into that top corner, I was just thinking like, oh my, like ridiculous.
But if you remember, Barcelona actually, they lost the Copa del Rey final that year as well to Valencia.
Oh yeah.
And Messi had one of the best games I've ever seen an individual have on the losing side. It was just, again, incredible. And it was the point I was seeing, is like, this guy is actually too good for Barcelona. I can imagine. He's too good for Barcelona now, even. So it was crazy. But this is his last GOAT. This is his last GOAT season.
You'll put it in the GOAT. Now, Tim, are you happy with where like the GOATs are ranked right now? So 2010, 2011 is his best season. Personally, I'm going for 2011, 2012. I think
2011, 2012, I think is the best season.
Okay, and then we'll put 2010. So we have 2 more seasons left. So we have the 2019-20 season where Messi only played 44 games. Was this due to COVID? No. It wasn't due to
this
COVID.
Is the COVID year. This is the COVID year.
Okay, yeah. It was the COVID year. He scored 31 goals and 27 assists. And this was the first season in like 20 years for a player in the league to have 20 goals, 20 assists that season. That's what Messi was able to do that year. But Tim, tell me what you thought of that season. Tell me what amazing moments.
Yeah, a strange moment, because this is so-called Messi's worst season, because he had a number of injury problems that came in from the summer. They played Copa America in 2019 summer, and he had some more stress injuries on his hamstring and his calves again. So he had a few injuries that year. This is why his appearances are as low and his numbers aren't as great. Also, the change of Ernesto Valverde and Kike Setien, which kind of jeopardized things in the squad because they liked Valverde a lot. I see if he couldn't quite get hold of the team. Um, COVID as well, everyone affected, But his year in itself for what he did during what he was going through as well, wanting to leave Barcelona the whole season. So he wanted to leave Barcelona during this season from the very, very start, but kind of stayed on and towards the end took his toll. For Messi standards, or for a basic player standards, goals and assists for that season to be more than Henry in the league season is incredible. You could put it at their own greater goals too, but for Messi standards, I think it's like a good season. It's good, all right
Good.
season.
Wow.
Yeah,
Listen, the harshness is serious right now. But let's finish
but
off.
it's not a bad season at all
It's not. It's
whatsoever.
not. Listen,
Because
what is great for other people is ordinary for what Lionel Messi does. You know,
yeah,
it's to me, it's just what it is. But let's finish off with the final season, 2020-2021 season, where he played 47 games and got 38 goals and 14 assists this year. Tim, where do you rank this season?
this is going straight to great. Another great season.
Do you
Another
really think that it was better than
It was
2019?
better than 1920. It
Really?
was better than
Tell me,
1920 because
tell me a
when you when
moment.
you you have to let me think. I'll do one moment actually stands out. I think not as the whole season as such, but you look at there was a game against Real Betis, and Ronald Koeman tried to get Real Betis again. Even strange, I don't know why it's always them, but Ronald Koeman has tried to make Barcelona to play uh, as a good side without needing Messi in the team. And he's tried to do that with Griezmann, Dembele, all the stars they have. And he tried to make them less dependable on him. But it was when he came off from the bench with like no trying to rest him a bit. Came off from the bench, was on a minute, buried the bottom corner. Look at the game against PSG in the first half. They weren't great as a team, but to them be their only spark kind of showed something. And then the second leg to score a cracking, like an incredible goal.
Whoa, like what a free
Like,
kick that was. No, it
just
wasn't free
take,
kick. It
yeah,
was
yeah,
just
just
that
strike.
was that was a Ronaldo type goal because you don't really know Messi for
Yeah,
them like curling once. He just smashed it.
almost
It
just
was
to give you the ball. And the reason why, again, I think, and this is not now I'm saying in great because it's all about the context of the season. This is not me mentioning saying that Messi's performances as such were as good or so as the season that are there with him are great or go say or better than the ones that are amazing or good. It's going to the context of where the team are at. This is the worst Barcelona team we've had in how many, maybe 10, 15 years plus or so. It's a really, really poor side. And everybody knows that. Everyone knows it's a really poor team. So for him to kind of maintain a standard in a team that's so poor, it kind of speaks volumes of what he's capable of still at 33 years old, at 34 now, anyone recording. And
no.
that's why I'm putting that at great because it's the good players who kind of filter out. But how can someone still produce greatness in a team sport surrounded by mediocrity and non-poor players?
Now we've just been here for I don't know 20, 30 minutes and honestly God just going down memory lane and just seeing the greatness that this guy has given us for the past 17 years, the numbers, the moments, the goals, the nutmegs, the passes, everything, just it's incredible. And I would love and I hope that he gives us another 5 more years. I don't think it's going to be five with Barcelona, but it's just incredible, and it makes you realize that Messi perhaps is the GOAT. You know, we can leave the GOAT debate because I always like living that grey area because of what the others have done, but the body of work this guy has produced is generally like no other, and I'm genuinely grateful to live in an era where I get to watch this guy play football. Generally,
Honestly, yeah.
as
But
Drake
just for the
said,
people, Jake said,
as Drake said, what a time to be alive, and just to have this guy, it's
honestly,
just incredible. You know,
but just for the people watching as well, because people are saying like, why is this season there? This is not like it's not really as such saying because part of it is about performance and how well he played in the season, but you have to really think about if you remember those who those remember the seasons back then as well for Barcelona. But you have to always think in consideration the context. Like, he's not just one player; he's one player who's part of a team. So you have to think about what the team and club are going through in every season, which is so important to consider, and why each position is where it's at. So it's Messi in 2014-15 was a better Messi in 2018-19 Messi in terms of his pressure, his jungle, whatever. But 2018-19 season, for what was produced in what was going on, which is why is where it's at, for instance.
Do you know what, Tim? The only one I'm gonna fight you with. I'm sorry, Tim. I'm gonna put this one to go. I'm sorry.
That,
That has to be go. You know.
That one, yeah.
You know, because
I was looking at that one as well. I was really looking at that one. I think that could really be in the goal section as well.
I was gonna put it. 2015, 2014, 15, that could be argued. But guys, tell me what you think right now. All the Messi fans there, do you agree with Timi? How harsh he's been? Like, I thought he was going to be a lot leaner than this. But Timi, you've been seriously harsh.
But here's the thing, though. This is the best player like we've seen. So we've got to keep it to his standard. We've got to keep it to Messi's standard.
I've really enjoyed this video, guys. Please comment and please hit that subscribe button. We're nearly on 500, so please hit that there. All the Messi fans, even Ronaldo fans, guys. If this gets the clicks that I want, we will be doing a Cristiano Ronaldo one. But thanks for watching. This is Box to Box Football, and we will see you next time.